Picture a typical scene of old age. Chances are you're imagining someone sitting quietly in a rocking chair, moving at a slow, cautious pace, while the world passes them by. But Lewis Carroll offers a different image, a grandfather bursting through the front door and executing a flawless backflip before he even says hello. This is the world of Lewis Carroll. He was a writer who delighted in taking the rigid rules of reality and flipping them upside down. His poem, You Are Old, Father William, leans into this friction, setting up a collision between what we expect from the elderly and the vibrant, nonsensical reality Carroll builds on the page. The poem centers on a logical young son and his father, William, who has abandoned gravity entirely. The young man points out his father's advanced age and stark white hair. He demands to know why an old man spends his day standing on his head. By questioning his father's behavior, the son establishes a baseline of proper adult conduct, a baseline that William is about to systematically dismantle. Father William's first response is a classic deflection. He explains that he used to worry about injuring his brain by standing on his head, but he eventually realized he simply didn't have a brain left to hurt. It's a bit of nonsense logic. He uses a self-deprecating joke as a shield, providing an answer that explains nothing while keeping the conversation moving on his own terms. The son pushes back, noting that his father has grown uncommonly fat. In his mind, weight and age should make a back somersault physically impossible. William counters with a new layer of absurdity. He attributes his agility to a magical ointment, costing only a shilling a box, that keeps his limbs perfectly supple. The humor peaks when William drops the explanation entirely and tries to use the moment to sell a few boxes of the ointment to his own son. This is how the poem operates. Every time the son offers a grounded, sensible observation, the father meets it with an impossible, ridiculous solution that refuses to follow the rules of the real world. The son moves on to the physical, questioning how his father's weak jaws could possibly finish a whole goose, including the bones and the beak. To handle this, the poem leans into hyperbole, taking a small physical detail and inflating it until it becomes a comical, impossible image. William claims his bone-crushing jaw strength didn't come from exercise, but from a lifetime of arguing legal cases with his wife. The spectacle reaches its height when the son points out that his father's eyes are steady enough to balance a live wriggling eel on the very tip of his nose. By stacking these impossible feats, Carroll moves the poem away from a simple family chat and completely into the realm of a cartoonish circus act where the elder William is the star performer. After several stanzas of playful deflection, the rhythm of the poem suddenly snaps. The polite, repetitive pattern of the son's questions and the father's witty answers hits a wall. William finally runs out of patience with his son's interrogation. He tells the young man to stop acting superior and threatens to physically kick him down the stairs if he doesn't leave immediately. This aggressive turn is the final punchline. After proving he can do the impossible, William makes it clear he is tired of explaining himself and simply wants to exist without being analyzed by the younger generation. This friction between the son's need for logic and the father's embrace of the ridiculous highlights a familiar divide between the generations. While the son represents a rigid, perhaps overly serious view of adulthood, William suggests that growing old doesn't require losing your sense of the absurd. It leaves us with an interesting question. When we see an older person doing something unexpected or playful, do we focus on why it's wrong for their age, or do we just enjoy the surprise? Carroll's poem suggests that the real secret to aging isn't finding a magical ointment. It's refusing to let a number on a calendar dictate how much joy you're allowed to have.